Married folk, what's the most underrated part of marriage? Covering your spouse with a blanket when they sleep. For me, I suffer from anxiety and depression. I don't even need to say anything to my wife. She just knows if I'm not feeling good and will sit and cuddle with me, which 99.9% of the time changes my mood. It's the little things, just knowing you have someone by your side to work with you through life's challenges. The little things. I lose things like crazy, so when we are at the airport, I just hand over any paper to him and he takes it. Get this, he then knows to do something with it so I don't have to. When we're shopping, he carries my bags without asking. I've had medical issues and get dizzy at times. If I go outside to take the trash and it just is too long, he comes right out looking for me again because medical reasons, but I'm usually chatting with the neighbor. When his check engine light comes on, I just take care of it because he doesn't speak car. It's amazing if you stop and list the things. I have diabetes, and when my number gets low I frequently get very focused on random things. If my husband finds me cleaning, he almost always asks what my number is. About 60% of the time I am having a medical issue. I am not a good housekeeper. Laughing because your spouse is giggling to the point of crying. My husband and I find a lot of the same things funny, but when he finds something extremely funny and can't stop laughing, it just makes me laugh too. Sometimes when we watch comedies we have to pause for laugh breaks so we don't miss anything. We make a huge deal out of unconditional love, but it's unconditional like that really tickles the soul. The other day I asked my dude if he had a crush on me when we first met and he said yes. I still have a crush on you. Gave me butterflies. Sometimes that's better to hear than I love you. Having someone else investigate the strange noise. I get very cold at night and my husband is a human furnace. So now I don't need 2 blankets, socks and long sleeves. Having someone else to push the stupid cart at the grocery store. Having someone else to carry heavy groceries inside. When you both get sick at the same time and you get to watch several days worth of horrible movies together while sharing one tub of VapoRub. Bonus, since you're both already sick you don't have to worry about not sharing germs. Being comfortable enough to be so weird goofy together. A ton of our interactions with each other at home would be enormously embarrassing to have anyone else witness, but we have a great time. When you both make the same stupid pun at the same time and laugh like fools. Also playing video board games together. Having someone who you feel no shame with. I just washed my wife's whole body CNA style after a major surgery. We laughed the entire time, especially when I cleaned her crack. Good times. Most of these comments are addressing best, not underrated. As a woman, I would say being big spoon is very underrated. It's much less constricting than being little spoon. It keeps your tummy warm, and of course it's a nice way to express affection. My boyfriend is 3x my size, and he's always the little spoon. Over time I've grown to love it and it's the only way we're both comfortable. I think it's having someone you share a history with. For example, you spend, about 18 years with your parents, right? As long as you've had a healthy relationship with them, you feel like they're people who will always be there for you because they always have been. If you totally frick up and lose your house, your parents might let you back home, right? You know, in the end, they would be there for you. Marriage is the same kind of trust or feeling developed over time. I've been married for 11 plus years together, about 16 years, and we're 35. Sometimes I look at him and think, he was 19 when we started dating. We've been through our entire adulthood together. He knows my worst moments and my best moments. He was there through the birth of our children and the struggles of me staying home with them. He's been there for my different jobs, going back to college, getting a career. He's been there through money struggles and increased income, and he's been there for romantic getaways and traveling to see extended family with kids. He's been there for holidays, for creative meals, cooking disasters, and reheated leftovers. It's almost like we've created this book, this wonderful story, together, and we can refer back to that book anytime we want together. I can't do that with anyone else. Sometimes, it's scary to think about the future, when one has to go first. No wonder long-term married couples have an increased risk of death for a year after their partner dies. You don't just have this other person around. You have this whole relationship, this whole story, this whole book, and when the other person is gone, no one else is there to really share it with. Sure, there are snippets other people know, and others can be empathetic and supportive, but I can't imagine losing that relationship. It would be the worst thing. Anyway, sometimes I think about that, our history, and how grateful I am to have someone to share my life with. The team approach to every situation. You get the table, I'll place the order, or you get the seats, I'll get the popcorn and sodas, or you put kid 1 to bed and I'll take kid 2. Plus always getting to order the best 2 things on the menu and sharing. Becoming so codependent on someone you don't remember how to sleep alone anymore. I don't know why I like it so much. It might sound weird, but there's just something about being so permanently tied with someone. They become such a part of you, you can't imagine it any other way, and when one is out of town, or working a lot, or whatever, you realize how much you've grown to rely on them, and the rush of gratitude and intimacy you feel is uniquely satisfying. I always think of that scene in 500 Days of Summer when the friend is talking about his wife and says, "No, she's not the woman of my dreams. She's better, 'cause she's real." Hits home. I'm gonna go hug my wife now, thanks for this post. Honestly, people don't get how amazing a shared history can be. Picture a crappy phone call from your parent. You hang up, are in a complicated emotional funk. Being married often means your spouse not only knew this was coming, they know exactly the next 7 stages of emotional turmoil, calming hilarity that will ensue, and they roll with it. A good wife or husband normalizes your neurosis and keeps you on an even keel just by having been there throughout. Dr. Explaining is exhausting. A long marriage means you never have to. Marriage means not having to start at the beginning of the story. Not having to date around anymore. Seriously, if I had to find someone else at this point in my life, I'd be fricked. At 44 years in, the best part is comfort. Feeling so comfortable with her. Just letting those farts rip. Most underrated, being able to know someone so well and be known so well that when you suggest things to each other, you're almost guaranteed to like them. My husband has introduced me to so many movies, TV shows, books, musicians, podcasts, etc. that I never thought I'd enjoy but I love, and vice versa. It's a big part of our relationship and I don't hear others talk about it at all. Being able to clearly communicate without using intelligible word sentences. Over the last few years, sometimes it's just random nosies. My wife and I are very guilty about this. We can just look at each other and give a small noise and get across what we want. It's so awesome. When one of you doesn't have your crap together, sick, really stressed, lost a loved one, the other picks up the slack and keeps you sane. It's teamwork in general. It's basically doing life on easy mode if you choose the right partner. Can confirm. Came home from work trip feeling awful. Instead of unloading kids, wife tells me to take a nap and proceeds to handle everything. Falls asleep on couch with me so I don't have to sleep alone. Currently still feeling terrible, but slightly less so listening to my wife sleep on the couch next to me. Having a person you can sit with and not have to talk. Comfortable silence, as Mrs. Mia Wallace might say. I can spend hours with my girl without talking. I love her. Underrated. Having someone else who knows your habits so when you lose things or do something stupid, they can come to your rescue in the most efficient way possible. You do it for them too. And when you've been together a while, they don't even need to be in the same building as you to do it. Having someone that can check you on your crap, in a respectful and loving way. Do I smell weird? Is my hair fricked up? Did I say it too many times when we role played for a job interview? My husband is always honest with me and I need that grounding in my life. It's amazing. Having someone who believes in you when you're not sure you believe in yourself. I can't even tell you how much more confident and successful I am simply because my wife says things like, "You are amazing. You can do anything." Even when I feel like I am not particularly good at anything. Edit. Removing this will get buried preamble. THXU Varka. You need to be more confident in your commenting. Don't tell us it will just get buried, because no one likes that. After all, even if it was buried, I still found it. The world is yours, man. Take it and make the best out of it. 3. The other person is there to pick up the slack when you can't do it anymore. Times I've been too sick to cook, he will grab what is needed from the store and make soup. His dad has cancer and it's easy for him to visit his dad out of state because I can just stay here and handle things while he's gone, rather than us having to worry about finding someone to watch the house and board the dogs. Which if we had to do each time it would make the visits a lot more expensive and less frequent. It's just nice to have someone you can count on who has your best interest at heart. Most definitely, if one of us is sick, the other just picks up and keeps the house running. We trade off on who does what because it didn't truly matter who does it, we're working towards a common goal. The inside jokes. Kinda morbid, but my wife is dying of terminal cancer. I honestly think the inside jokes are what I will miss the most. We had so much shared history of stupid crap. Back scratching. And having a good excuse to bail when work asks you to stay late or come in early, or anything else anyone asks you to do that you don't want to do. Sure, I'm down as long as my wife is okay with it. Then, after some time has passed ostensibly for you to call her, you just say, man, you know that I would totally be there, but the wife has already made plans for us all day. Sorry, that's the most underrated part of the deal in my opinion. Underrated? 2 incomes. Makes a massive difference in lifestyle, but it is mentioned far less often than the emotional aspects. As a single person trying to get on the housing ladder, I don't think that's underrated. I am genuinely going to live longer because my wife makes me go to the doctor when I'm sick. I am terrified of doctors and really hate the expense, so on my own I put it off as long as possible or just don't go. But my wife won't take no for an answer. She doesn't hesitate to step in and insist that it is goddamn past time I see someone about something. And, just as good, she always offers to come with me when I go. I don't always take her up on it, but she always offers, and that alone makes me feel better, braver. I know there are stats floating around about how married men live longer, possibly partly for this reason. While I am not a man, I can 110% vouch that having a wife can measurably increase one's lifespan. So that's my underrated thought, increases lifespan. I just told my husband last week, either go to the doctor or make sure your life insurance is paid up. And when I was nearly dying from pulmonary embolisms a few years ago, he made me go to the ER. When you're committed to growing old with one person QND one person only, you'll dang well make sure they're around to grow old with. Being forced to make good relationship decisions because you do really love that FK even when they pee you off. Something about marriage made me take a breath when something annoys upsets me, and I think, is this worth being upset? Is this where I'll damage my marriage? And the answer is always no. Then I slap the booty and continue along with my decent life. I lost my wife to cancer on November 10, 5 years ago. I miss the hugs and just the general closeness we had. She loved PDAs. I miss the whole holding hands, she leaning on me and traveling together. Crap dude, I'm sorry. Laying in bed before going to sleep and just laughing with each other about jokes and stuff. My husband and I just had our second kid a couple months ago and then became the legal guardians of his brother's kids who are teenagers, and we have no time for ourselves. This is by far what I miss most. By the time we get to bed we're exhausted. I have someone who has observed 30 years of my life and still loves me. There's a gravity to her presence that would be near impossible to match. Finding someone who fills in all your shortcomings, and whose shortcomings you are perfectly suited to fill. My wife is a goddamn superstar at planning things. Once she's got a vacation, or an event, or any other kind of plan in mind, she absolutely owns it from top to bottom. However, if one little thing goes wrong, she can lose her mind and not know how to react or pivot. On the other hand, I am terrible at planning crap. I'll wait until 2 weeks before a vacation to plan it, overpay on everything, and have to settle for lesser versions of what I wanted to do because I didn't put in the work ahead of time. However, I'm really good at improvising on the spot. If dinner reservations we've had for months fail for whatever reason, I'm the one who can find 3 other spots nearby within the same price range in 10 minutes. She's the long term, I'm the short term, and when our powers combine, we're one fully functioning adult. A very underrated part of marriage is having someone who will call you on your crap and you know they just want you to be the best person you can be. Having someone to split breakfast orders with at restaurants. No more choosing between sweet and savory. You can have it all. Saving this thread to remind myself not to settle for less. Having a best friend to grow old with and always having someone there for emotional support. In a good marriage, having an equal to share things with. If you have the right person, even the mundane things are more fun. Seeing your soul grow as a person. On-hand personal masseurs. Having someone there in the dark after a bad dream. Tag team embarrassing your kids. Hey, honey, let's wear our matching Disney t-shirts out to dinner tonight. Now that's the kind of love I want, Disney and all. Talking crap about other people together. This right here, scene. Husband and I leave a social engagement. Get into truck. No sooner do we close the doors and the crap talking starts. It's our shared love language. Going to sleep every night with someone you love. I get that the whole butterflies at the beginning is nice, but not always having to keep up the appeal is really nice. Not saying I'll let myself go, but I can be me without fear of judgment. He knows all my weird habits and I his. We don't have to hide that from each other. If I'm having an off day, instead of feeling like I look like crap, he says I'm beautiful like any other day. It's just nice that I fully satisfy him with my prescience alone and vice versa. You have been visited by the happy baby pygmy murder cow. Back away slowly and subscribe quickly to ensure your safety. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.